This is Dr. Phil Chavez of the Men's Academy. Again, I'm back at the Medal of Honor Memorial here at Riverside National Cemetery. It's always, for me, a very deeply moving place to visit. Right now, I want to acknowledge Charles A. Lindbergh, Jr. Charles Lindbergh was an American aviator, military officer, author, inventor, activist, as well as recipient of the Medal of Honor. He was born on February 4th, 1902, and raised mostly in Little Falls, Minnesota, and Washington, D.C. He was the son of the prominent U.S. Congressman Charles August Lindbergh, also his complete name. Now, he became a U.S. Army Service Air Cadet in 1924, earning the rank of second lieutenant in 1925. Later that year, he was hired as a U.S. Air Mail pilot in the greater St. Louis area, where he started to prepare for his historic transatlantic flight, which he did in May 1927. Lindbergh made the first nonstop flight from New York City to Paris, a distance of 3,600 miles, flying alone for 33 and a half hours. Lindbergh's aircraft, the Spirit of St. Louis, was designed and built by the Ryan Airline Company, specifically to compete for a prize by this flight. Now, although not the first transatlantic flight, it was the first solo transatlantic flight and the longest flight at the time by nearly 2,000 miles. As one of the most groundbreaking flights in history, the event ushered in a whole new era of global air transportation. Now, at Washington, D.C. on March 21st, President Coolidge bestowed upon him the Congressional Medal of Honor that had been voted by special act of Congress in recognition for this infamous 1927 flight. The citation reads, "For displaying heroic courage and skill as a navigator, at the risk of his life, by his nonstop flight in his airplane, the Spirit of St. Louis, from New York City to Paris, France, 20 to 21st May 1927, by which Captain Lindbergh not only achieved the greatest individual triumph of any American citizen, but demonstrated that travel across the ocean by aircraft was possible." Now later, Lindbergh presented his famous monoplane, the Spirit of St. Louis, to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. Time magazine honored Lindbergh as the first Man of the Year in 1928. Now, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and the German declaration of war against the U.S., Lindbergh held controversial views about the war effort. He was rejected for active duty as President Roosevelt refused to restore his Air Corps Colonel commission. Instead, what he did is he flew 50 combat missions in the Pacific Theater as a civilian consultant and was unofficially credited with shooting down enemy aircraft. But in 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower restored his commission and promoted him to Brigadier General in the U.S. Air Force Reserve. In his later years, Lindbergh became a Pulitzer Prize-winning author and an international explorer. He helped establish national parks in the U.S. and protect certain endangered species and tribal people in the Philippines and in East Africa. On August 26, 1974, Lindbergh died of lymphoma at the age of 72. He is buried at the Kipahulu Church Cemetery in Maui. Brothers, God be with you. We appreciate you viewing our Manly Minutes. Thank you for whatever donation you can offer to make our content possible. Go to themensacademy.org/donate. Thank you.